and welcome to the Just Jen Living My 360-Degree Life podcast. And today we have a wonderful, wonderful guest. Her name is Janice Gutter Baldon. And we've known each other for a number of years. She is amazing and fantastic, and she is just all that, okay? But before we meet Janice, I need to go over a little housekeeping with you, like usual. I need you guys to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that is the quickest way to get to it is bit.ly/justjenlove. So it's capital G for just, capital G for Jen, capital L for live. bit.ly/justjenlove. Okay, so I'd also like to encourage you guys to go onto my website, www.jennoonspalding.com, so you can catch up with me, read my blog, maybe purchase a book or two. Christmas is coming up, hint, hint. And so you can do that with my blog. Also, you can visit me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook under Just Jen Love. If you want to know more about my books, my business page is at Just Jen. Okay, so now we are getting ready to welcome my friend Janice. But before we do, you know how we do things. We're going to read her bio, y'all. Yes. Look, I got my magic specs on. Okay, so Janice is an author, teacher, and program coordinator for diversity, equity, and inclusion of the Southeast ADA Center of the Burton Blatt Institute of Syracuse University. She was a human resource generalist for DuPont Chemical Company. She taught for 18 years, y'all. 18 years at the University of Louisville School of Business, and currently teaches online for Purdue University Global. Her books are about caregiving, and the first one was called Caregiving: A Daughter's Story, and the second one is more about disabilities. It's called The Triangle of Discrimination: Physical, Age, and Disability. She's going to tell us more about those. But she has a master's degree of science and human resource education from the University of Louisville, Master of Business Administration from Bellarmine University, and a certificate of diversity, equity, and inclusion from the University of South Florida, excuse me. Now Janice is married to Michael Gutter, and she's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Which is part of the Divine Mind, which I'm part of, Delta Sigma Theta. And she also is involved with the Louisville Society for Human Resource Management. She is currently, this is a fun fact, y'all, she's currently learning American Sign Language. Isn't that awesome? So it's with no further ado that I introduce you to my friend Janice Baldon-Gutter. Here's Janice. Hey, Janice.
Hi.
Hey, girl. Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. I am fine. Awake this morning.
Oh, yeah. I've been awake since 4 o'clock this morning. Well, no, 3 o'clock because I worked at my little part-time gig. Yes. So anyway, Janice, I have all these questions to ask you. And before we start, I want to remind everyone that my podcast is based on CHI, okay? So the C stands for community, family. The H is health and wellness over 50. The A is author life, entrepreneurship. And the I is identity in Christ or spirituality. So, Janice, I bet we're going to focus on community with you. What were you thinking?
That's fine. We can connect it all.
Oh yes, isn't that the truth? We're just all that. Okay, okay, Janice. So, how would you describe yourself in one word, one measly word?
Determined.
Oh yes. Okay, why do you say that? Tell me more.
Well, I'm determined to keep contributing to the community. I am determined to keep learning. I'm a lifelong learner. So I'm determined to help others. So determined in different ways and different avenues.
I can see that, I've known you for years and you've always been one to help and you would learn and you would teach others and you've always just been a wonderful person. And even your book, the caregiving book, reflects that. And, I've seen people come to you and ask you questions and you're like really trying to help them. And I love that, and you've tried to help me, you gave me some advice and different things when I was going through the things I was going through with my mom, so, yeah, I agree, you are definitely determined. Okay.
But one of the things I like about you also is that you're willing to share information. We work together on our books, and I've gathered a lot of information from you, and I really appreciate that. You're not one to hold on to things. You really do share and help others. So I like that.
Oh, thank you. I believe that God has blessed me so much. And how am I going to just try to keep all that to myself when I can bless somebody else? It's a blessing to be able to give to others and pour into other people, and you can't get anything from life going around with your closed fist. You know what I'm saying? The more you give, the more God can give to you, honey. Yes. Thank you, though. I love you. I have another question. Do you have a bucket list? And if so, let me get my glasses on because I think I'm so cute without my glasses, but I need my glasses. Okay, if so, have you completed everything on it? If not, what are some things you'd still like to accomplish?
One of the things I'd like to accomplish still is to be published. I did self-publishing before. I'd like to see if I can get published with a publisher. If not, I'll still go ahead and self-publish again. But that's high on my bucket list just to test that water. I self-published many years ago before my friends. Didn't really know what I was doing. This time I'd like to try traditional publishing, but if I don't make it or if nobody sees my value, I will do it myself.
All right now. There are a lot of people that are self-publishing because I've done both. I did a hybrid publishing that was like in the middle. And and then I self-published. And I don't know. It was okay. The hybrid, I like them because they kind of teach you how to do things yourself, which is great.
Mhm.
But I think all of us, it's the marketing. For me, it wasn't writing the book. Writing the books were easy because it's based on our lives, at Lely. But the part of marketing the book, that was hard. It's because you can have a wonderful story, but if no one knows about it, what good
Right.
is
You're much better at marketing. You go to the fairs and things like that. And so I'd like to try traditional publishing. But if it doesn't happen, I'll go the regular way, the other way, self-publishing. The thing is that, when I wrote 15 years ago, Caregiving a Daughter's Story, nobody was interested because most of my peers had not lost their parents yet. But
Mm.
now 15, 20 years later, I wrote the book so it could stay relevant, there where I was 20 years ago. So I was a little bit ahead of my time,
Mm.
but it's worked out and the book is still out there.
Oh, yeah. It's a wonderful book, very helpful to those of us going through that. Okay, you have taught school, authored books, and now you are a program coordinator. Which of those occupations is your dream job, if any of those are? And if not, tell us what your dream job is and why.
It is my dream job because it connects everything. It's still a form of advocacy.
Mm.
I'm still advocating for the disabled. I'm still advocating for caregivers, and I'm still advocating for learning. So it really has, connected everything for me. I love advocacy. I love helping people in the community. It was a fantastic opportunity. And I'm so blessed to have gotten it just by chance. I went on one day and it went on Indeed one day and saw it. I said, "Oh, I'm going to try this." And bam, they called me.
See,
So it was a really blessing. Yes, it was a blessing. So it really connects everything, all my interests and all my passions.
that's a beautiful thing when you can find a, a job, a career that does that. It's amazing. Okay. What advice would you give to 15-year-old Janice?
I probably would have gone into law.
Hmm.
Professionally, I would have gone into law, especially employment law. Having worked now, I see a lot of employees who need help, and that's another form of the advocacy for the disabled. They don't know how to ask for help on the job when they become disabled. I
Mm.
would have gone into a form of law. I didn't know anything about law then, other than criminal law, and there's more to law than just criminal law. I
Right.
knew I didn't want to be in a courtroom defending someone every week, but I would have gone into law and employment law.
Got you. Because that's very much needed. And, I was talking to someone, a counselor one day, and she said all that human resources, all that it is like 504 for working people because
Mhm.
they help them be able to work. They help people that have different abilities to be able to work in the workplace. I was like, wow, that's interesting. And she mentioned that a lot of times, especially as African Americans, that we don't ask for the help and that we're thinking, oh, they're going to think because I'm Black, I'm doing this, that. And she's like, no, you have not because you asked not, right? And we have to advocate for ourselves and ask for these things. Whatever it is that we need to ask for.
Well, that's part of my role now at Southeast. I help
Mhm.
all disabled, but my emphasis is minority. I'm a minority outreach coordinator, and
Mhm.
I want to get into the minority community to make sure they know how to ask and what to ask for, not only just job related, but community related. So I really want to get into the minority churches, um, organizations to bring this information so people will be prepared and know what to ask. We don't give legal advice there at Southeast because we're not
Mhm.
attorneys, but we do give guidance as to how to prepare for workplace situations. So I hope everyone will give me a shout out there for their to help.
Yes, please, please do. We'll get your information to make sure that we put it in the information box too. But tell us now. I know I mentioned the two books, but I think you're working on the third book now. So, are you're done with the third book? I'm not sure which one it is, but tell us all about all your books. Does being an author compare to your current position? And I guess in a little bit it does, but tell us all about that. Tell us about all the connections there.
Well, the first book I wrote back in 2010 was Caregiving a Daughter Story. I had gone through caregiving with my parents, and my peers had not gone through caregiving yet. And then when it ended, I said, "How can I help other people?" Because I felt very alone. I really had to pray. So I wrote Caregiving a Daughter Story. Then I
Mhm,
moved on from that. Right now, I'm working the triangle of discrimination: physical,
mhm,
age, and disability. Those
mhm,
are three areas of discrimination everyone is going to face in their lifetime. I
mm,
don't care what color you are or what culture you're from. Physical is more than race. Sometimes you're discriminated against because of your weight, your hair color, you know, so physical discrimination is more than just race. And then if you survive that, it'll go to age. And hopefully you live long enough and you'll move into that next age category. Everybody's going to go to seniors and boomers and everything. And then if you survive that, then it's a grand possibility you will develop a disability, whether it's a family disability or an accident. So the three forms of disability, physical, age, and disability are what I will be writing about now, and
Okay.
to prepare people for those. And do not discriminate. That's what I'm telling people, because your turn is next. If
So the
you discriminate,
triangle, so
yes,
the triangle of discrimination is what you're coming out with. You don't
yes, that's
already
what
have
I'm
it.
doing.
Okay, I thought that you already had that. Okay. So that's your next one that you're gonna be.
Right. I'm looking either for a publisher. That's where the traditional, where the self-publishing comes in. If I don't find a traditional publisher, then I will publish it myself again,
Gotcha.
because it's relevant, you know.
Oh yes. Yeah. And it touches on, I mean, everyone can benefit from that book. I mean, you might not always have caregiving situation, but
Right.
you know, we are, I mean, if we live, we're going to get older. And you
Right.
know, and then I mean, that's one of the three, definitely. Then, you know, we're going to look different because, you know, you're just going to look different. So that's physical. Are you, and then you're not going to feel the same. You know, oftentimes we get arthritis and different things. I mean, you're right. All three of those we're going to experience at some point. So that is a book that will affect everyone. Everybody can benefit from that book.
And
Uh,
I should have an article coming out in October. October is National Employment Disability Month.
Okay.
And I should have an article coming out in the Courier, in the opinion section, talking
Uh-huh.
about, disability is not a bad word. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. And you can develop a disability at any age. It's not about age.
Right.
So,
You're right. There are children with disabilities. So yeah.
right.
This broadcast is going to play on October 6th. So we'll be right in the thick of that. Disability
That'll
awareness.
be great. Great.
Yeah, so just in time. Okay, so who has been your most important professional slash spiritual mentor?
I had a boss when I was at DuPont, and I had a team at DuPont who really helped me. Um, there were issues there, way before I came. But I had one person, her name is Jean Turner. She was a Black female engineer
Hmm.
who she heard about my skills and coming in, and I became her assistant. And she took me further than, uh, she took me, she helped promote me. I had some other teams. I had Haven Harrington. I had some other people, Ken Williams, that were also behind me. But Jean was also, a Black female young engineer coming in, and she said, "I want you to work for me." So it was Jean Turner and the team at DuPont that really helped me. I also had help since then, also with teaching at U of L. People would bring me in, and since that time, I've had people who have helped me in other areas. When DuPont closed, it was difficult. I ran into all kinds of discrimination that I didn't expect. But I ran into some people there in the federal government who really helped me. Donna Walker, she helped me. She promoted me, even in the 2 years I was there. So I've run into more good than bad mentors.
Awesome. Okay, if you weren't in this line of work, what career would you? I guess you kind of already answered that. You know what you would say to your 15-year-old self, or would it be something different? Would it be law?
It would still be employment law, but I would have looked at healthcare.
Okay.
And
Like
I may have,
what in healthcare? Like administrative or like being a nurse, a doctor, or what do you think?
I would have loved, I'm still HR business related. I would have gone into administrative healthcare a little bit
Gotcha.
more deep, more deeply. I did become a CNA for a minute. Uh, and I did have my license, but physically it was very, difficult even at that time, but I would have gone into employment law first and then some form of healthcare administratively.
Okay. Well, so what's next for you, Janice? Tell all of my viewers how we can get in touch. Tell us what's next, and then tell us how we can get in touch with you.
Well, what's next? I hope to continue to advocate for the disabled. And I love that work. I'm hoping to get into the minority organizations, not only here, but in 8 states. I'm working with HBCUs. I'm working with Black Panhellenic, all fraternities and sororities. I'm a member of AKA, but I want to be inclusive and I want to work with all Panhellenic to get this message out.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I'm working with North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Alabama, Georgia. So we're not just in Louisville, Kentucky. So, and my headquarters is in Lexington, Kentucky. My boss is in Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay.
And I will be traveling throughout all those states and to Syracuse, New York. So that's what's next, hopefully staying an advocate for the disabled. I cannot go out on the street and march anymore, but because, you know, I'm a little bit older, but I'm still advocating for Louisville and for Kentucky and for the other states. I want to help the disabled remain active and inclusive. My specific title is Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Coordinator for Minority Outreach.
Okay. Okay. Well, how can we get in touch with you? You forgot.
I can get in, be contacted at JC Baldon, JCBALDON at SYR.edu. We are housed at Syracuse University, the Burton Blatt Institute. That's where we are, but JC Baldon, JCBALDON at SYR.edu.
Okay.
Is my email there.
Okay. Do you have any other handles?
I'm sorry, any other? I can also be reached on my personal email, JANICE BALDON-GUTTER at gmail.com.
Okay. Do you have like social, like Facebook or anything like that?
I am on Facebook. Right now I'm fighting a false account, but I am on Facebook.
You have a business page on Facebook, like a business?
I have Caregiving a Daughter's Story.
Okay.
I don't have, yes, I have a page for caregiving. Syracuse has a page. The Southeast ADA Center has a Facebook page. You can reach me there also. Southeast ADA has the Facebook page. You can contact me there. Okay,
I'll get all that from you and put it in the notes, okay, below so people can look you up. Okay, Janice, I appreciate you spending your time. You're one busy lady, I know, and I appreciate you being here just to talk about advocacy and your books and your job and just giving us some food for thought. So I appreciate you.
One thing I'd like to say is please help me get into the community. I'll come to your church. I'll come to your Women's Day, your Men's Day. I'll come to your fraternity sorority meetings to tell you about Southeast and also specific training. We did a HBCU training yesterday and I was so happy. You know, some people will listen, some people won't, but I was so happy we helped the faculty and staff. And we don't want Black businesses closed because they don't know how to comply, and we can help with that.
Awesome. Well, once I get all this together, make sure that you share it. Now I'm going to share it. And so hopefully, people can watch our video, watch the podcast and get the word out. That's what we want to do.
And I want to interview you again about sensory issues. And possibly do an article for you on the sensory issues that you write about.
Awesome. I'm open. I love it. Thank you. I'd appreciate it. Okay, Janice, I'm going to let you go. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It was lovely talking with you. And I'm going to be seeing you. I'll see you around.
Thank you for your help with me all these years.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. All right. Bye, Janice.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Okay, so it was amazing talking to my friend Janice. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today on my podcast, Just Jen, Living My 360-Degree Life, where we celebrate community, family, health and wellness over 50, author life, entrepreneurship, and identity. I'd also like to give a big thank you again to our guest, Janice Baldon-Guttер. Okay. And guys, before we go, I want to remind you to hit that like button, then share, and subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel. Please join my Facebook author group at Just Jen. And you can also join my podcast group on Facebook at Just Jen Live. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Just Jen Live. Until next time, here's hoping that you are enjoying chai each and every day, whether you're active in the community, working a business, or just living your best life. Thanks again. Bye-bye.